right, we'll give everybody a couple minutes to join here. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. Welcome to your weekly collective reading. So good to see everybody. I put up a little poll. When you get a chance here, let me know what it is that you're focusing on this week if you're watching live. And it's good to see you. It's been a kind of eventful few days. So for those of you that watch the community tab, you'll know that I couldn't do the daily yesterday because I had to deal with flood and a plumbing issue at my old apartment. And interesting aside, and then we'll get into the reading. You know, when I first moved in, I was talking to one of my friends. I had a dream about someone needing to kind of like take out the drywall and look in the kitchen. But this was like a year and a half ago. And sometimes, like with intuition, you'll get the vision, but not the timeline. Because a lot of things with respect to like manifestation, when it comes to something in your life, it's up to you. And a lot of little tiny things can lead to it. But I wasn't surprised when it happened, just inconvenienced. I'd already actually booked the hotel because it wasn't safe for me to be there. I've been having some allergies and issues with the mold. So everything fortuitously connected. But anyway, I was up late last night, completely resetting things up. Thank you for your patience. It's good to be here. Apollo's right behind me, chilling out. And yeah, everything's good. Let's get started. This is a collective reading. This is going to help you navigate the next 7 days. We have, several sections here that can kind of align us to the week ahead. Some channeled messages from Dreams and Meditation right at the start. Then a 7-day forecast, elemental breakdown. And then today, for the special topic, you guys focused on whatever needed to come through. So everything in the intuitive flow. All right. Let's get going, folks, here. Like I said, we're going to start off with channeled messages. If there's any, blips or whatever today, be patient with me. They'll be ironed out by the end of the week. So I did try to go through and make sure all the graphics were working and everything, just so you know. All right, let me go ahead and bring up the all of the messages here, and we'll get going. All right, so in channeled messages, the first thing that I saw in dreams was a jellyfish. I haven't seen that for a long time, actually. And it's interesting because it has a connection to mythology. In fact, there are certain varieties that are called like the Medusa, jellyfish. And they have these really long tentacles that basically can stop things dead in their tracks because they sting them. They basically make them stop. So there's a great deck that I might be using today here, the in True Heart Intuitive, where the Five of Wands is illustrated as Medusa. So what I kind of remembered from that is that sometimes your thoughts can paralyze you. You can start thinking about all of the possibilities and maybe even worst case scenarios. So don't allow yourself to go there unnecessarily. Focus on what's possible, not just what might go wrong. And try to think in an expansive way, which is part of the next message that came through. Transparency is another key attribute in this particular sea animal. And it reminds us to be clear, like literally, but also figuratively. Clear in your intentions, clear in your thoughts, and transparent with motives when it comes to like what you're trying to do with things. I think that this is a very good way to earn trust, right? And honesty, directness, all of that, suffice it to say. I put the moon card on here because jellyfish or sea jellies, whatever you want to call them, they don't really have a traditional brain. They have a nervous system that helps them just know instinctively where to go, what to do. And so they only follow their intuition. It's one of the most intuitive animals out there. And that is the moon card. It's instinct. Even over intuition, instinct is the primal part of our brain that would basically say, this is safe or this is not safe. And this is a moment to really listen to that when it comes to a decision. Much like I made the other day, I'm like, we're not spending one more night in this place. Or in a relationship, you're like, we've hit a wall. We're either going to talk and work through this or I need to move on. There comes points in your life where, when it's done, you also know if something is really engaging. Don't get yourself in a thought process of, what about this? What about that? When you know, right? So don't second guess your intuition. Then I was shown in meditation this really beautiful image of soap bubbles flying in the air. So I think all of us as children have played around with bubbles, right, at some point. And this played in with almost like an airborne version of the sea jelly, which was lightness and transparency. Also, like, it's the last thing or second to last thing, but it's what's coming through right now. Don't let somebody, rain on your parade or pop your bubble, burst your bubble when it comes to, well, I don't know if you should do that, or I don't like this. And you've done your research, you know what you want. Trust your instincts. Don't let them kind of come in and rain on the parade. This is also a very light energy. So if you need to unload or talk to someone or just kind of like clear stuff out of your life so that you feel that sense of levity, please do that. And because I wanted to pick an airborne symbol, the Seven of Cups is perfect. Literally all the cups are floating in the air. And it's symbolic because cups don't float in the air unless you're a magician. It's really thinking about, where does my heart want to go? What do I feel? What do I desire? And this is a chance for you to dream a little bit, if you haven't, in a minute. Allow yourself to really dream and to have some fun. And that is a great way for us to get started for today. So good to see you. Many of you have probably been going through some challenges in life. I try to show up no matter what, even if I was up till 4 a.m, doing all this stuff for you guys. I'm here. We're going to have a great reading today. So we're going to go straight into a 7-day forecast. Let me see here which deck is calling to me. This one is. Okay. So I think I got this all set up. I had to put fabric on the table because this is a glass table and it would be too distracting. So I might get something better as the week progresses. All right. Again, we're looking at the next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. Let's get started with the energy of today, and I hope I actually got all of this set up. Let's see, this Sunday. Yes, good, because originally the graphics were upside down. All right, so for today, we have the energy of community, nicely connected to what we're all doing here. So this is a perfect day to hang out with a friend, to connect with a family member. For those of you that might be looking to meet someone, to put yourself out there and to remember that in order to make a connection happen, you have to get out. You have to see people. So I just recently, this past week, was at VidCon. Actually, it was work related. And so I was, mixing and mingling. It's not something that I do all the time, but I had a good time. So whether professional, personal, or just for the heck of it, this is a good time for connecting. This is also one of the cards of attraction. So Lovers, Six of Cups, Two of Cups, and the 10 of Cups basically put you in a magnetic situation where you have the ability to pull people, places, and opportunities into your life, which is why it's not the day that you want to be the hermit. So do yourself a favor, even if you're walking out to the grocery store or coffee shop or just taking the dog for the walk, do something to get outside. You might run into an old friend. You might meet somebody new. You might just feel this sense of connection and community. If you're looking for love or want to go deeper into a relationship, this is also a pretty auspicious symbol that came through. Okay. Now we have at the beginning of the week a very lovely card. I just mentioned this as one of the attractive cards. So our magnetic cards. We have the Six of Cups here, friends, childhood friends, old loves, a chance to connect with someone on a really deep soul level that you just have this immediate affinity towards, all of that, okay? The other thing here is to love the inner child. And maybe some of you have been putting that inner child on the, in the back seat and ignoring them. Today, they're kind of they want to come out and play. So on Monday, do yourself a favor and do something fun, something that brings joy to your life. It's also a really great time to spend energy and time with family, particularly children or younger people in your family or friend circle. And again, nurturing the inner child. Youthful, playful, irreverent, not playing by the rules. So on a different note, and I rarely read it this way, but when it comes to like work, school, and even just like negotiations, have you ever noticed it's off-putting when people get straight into like without even checking in. Like they're just like, okay, so what's going on with this? I've had bosses like that, or people in my life where, did you do this? It's like, hello, how are you? And then they get kind of like, yeah, I'm fine. I just want to know what's going on with this. So if you find yourself on, I need this, I want this sort of end of the the spectrum, slow down, check in, breathe. You'll get the same answer in 5 minutes that you would in 1 minute, but it's going to be a lot better for you and the other party. Plus, you might learn what's going on with them and be a more effective communicator. If someone is pushing that on you, you can also say, we need to slow down for a second. I'm fine. I'm working on this, but it's much better if you're not always going to be able to do this with the boss, but if you can, kind of like take a half step, that would be advantageous. And just even say, how are you today? Before we get into it, I've always found it's great to check in. You can kind of, put a hint out there. But again, I've worked in corporate cultures where bosses sometimes don't care. Sometimes we have neighbors or relatives that don't care either. Don't take it personally. That's the last piece, okay? Try to have fun if you can, and try to live in that energy of fun. A lot more can get done if you do that. Isn't it funny, though, the people that need to be watching the readings usually are not? But so I'm trying to give you the tools so that you can navigate and not get sort of caught up in that energy. So let's move on to Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have the King of Pentacles. Love it. Pile of money, pile of abundance here, and a chance for you really to get on top of things when it comes to your career, your finances. It doesn't mean that magically it's all going to appear. It means that you're going to be able to see, oh, that's what I want. I can do this, or I'm ready to take ownership and go for it. Put yourself out there again on all things financial and sort of abundance related when it comes to Tuesday. Very, very good day for just getting things done. This is also related to your house, to your business, to your just your ability to build, create, and foster things. But definitely when it comes to your house, if you don't feel comfortable in a situation, it's time to fix it. One final thing, the reason I was up so late, I had to stay at the old place last night. By the way, this is just a hotel. I'm looking. There are places like I might actually end up in a similar unit because I do like it here. But last night I was having to negotiate with the landlord, and I was saying, you got to fix it. Like it's spilling into the kitchen, and I have work to do. And I was on the phone back and forth. It was like a 3-hour ordeal. So sometimes you have to take control. This wasn't even my property, but I'm like, this is going to be a bigger mess because I still have stuff here. So sometimes you have to play the boss. And it wasn't even and I was having to negotiate between a plumber, the on-site manager, and the owner of that place that I'm at. And I'm like, this isn't even my job, folks. Fix it. I don't care if it's an emergency situation. So sometimes you play proxy boss, and I reminded them to all of these different people, this is your job, do it. This is your job, do it. I even had to call another neighbor to see if it was happening in their place. I'm like, why am I playing the boss? Sometimes you have to because it won't get done otherwise. So this is a day where you can make it happen. It may come at a cost of energy, but if you need to push something through, put on your King of Pentacles crown and make it happen, folks, okay? Been there, done that. Midweek could be where some challenges hit. We have the devil coming through, strings attached. Literally, we can see it on this female devil's crown, well, not her crown, but the horns. And it is the money, the sort of connections. So like, here's an example of what the devil energy can be like in a relationship, particularly like a parental one. It's a comparison card. Why can't you be more like your sister? Or, I love you, but I would love you more if you were more like this or did this, or if they're putting constraints, whether it's appearance or achievements or something like that. It's like, you love me or you don't. And when it comes to other things, let's say it's a job, you're doing a great job, but they're not rewarding you. And there's always a carrot on a string that just keeps, it's kind of like Tantalus and Sisyphus in you never get what you want. You're never able to kind of get through it. That carrot's always just out of reach. So if someone's doing that, this is time to to bid them farewell. It's also limiting thoughts and ideas in your own mind. And it's also like the devil and the angel that we all have on our shoulders. There's one that whispers, you can't do it, you're not good enough, this won't happen. There are 3 or 4 cards that are part of the devil kind of like trifecta, or yeah, there's really like 4. But it's like definitely 5 of Swords and 7 of Swords, but sometimes the Moon. They all work with trickery. And so if there's anyone in your life that's doing any of that, you don't have time for that. You have better things to do. Highlight stuff that isn't working. And I love this one because we have rest in peace in the background. You're going to say goodbye to something, let it go, move beyond it. Remember, the devil's just a lower version of the lover, so the way to overcome it is through love, kindness, transparency, and honesty. All the stuff I was talking about with the jellyfish and the soap bubbles, transparency. Be clear. Shine a light through that and say, nah, I see you. This isn't how it's going to be, right? Okay, here we go. On Thursday, things are looking much better. We see 9 of Pentacles energy, abundance, independence, slow and steady wins the race. It's all good. It's worth the time and the energy. You might be working better on your own when we're looking at the latter part of the week. That's fine. You also may be feeling this sort of whatever you had to do at the beginning of the week is paying off. You have a little bit more because you went through that. Slow, steady, even though we don't have the snail on this one, that is always a part of this. It's not about who finishes first. It's about who finishes best. Do it right the first time rather than having to rush to the finish line and then go back 2 or 3 or 4 times to fix it. So don't compare yourself to others. It's very 4 of Cups. When we think of it in that way, just focus on being the best you, okay? The best version of you. That's all I've got to say on that. As we look at Friday, bringing things back into balance, possibly some travel interruptions. For some of you, just this feeling of a choice in front of you that may not be easy as well. So let's talk a little bit more. All right. We don't always want to make a choice, but we have to sometimes. 2 of Swords and 2 of Pentacles. The only difference between them is with the 2 of Pentacles, you know the choices, you have a feeling. She even is weighing one of these a little bit heavier than the other. So it's clear, but there's hesitation. 2 of Swords, it's much more opaque. It's a little bit more like shades of gray. For this one, I feel like it's just a matter of turning the ignition on and hitting the gas pedal and saying, I choose this. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't be everywhere at once. You're going to have to make some choices. Doing less, doing it better, all of that is part of this. Balance can also be taken on a literal level. So, one of the weird things that happened with my allergies, you can still hear a little bit of congestion in my voice, but I went to an ENT. I have no issues with earwax, but it was actually congestion from the inside that was blocking my hearing. So I'm on like a decongestion. But it's crazy what can happen sometimes with inner ear issues. So you may be having something like that. Go to a specialist always when it happens. If you're having vertigo or nausea or anything of that nature, go to the doctor. It can be any number of things from blood sugar to something, with your brain. You always want to look at that stuff. So work-life balance, and then literally inner ear or vertigo issues could be popping up. Take care of that as well. All right. As we look at weekend energy, I really like next Saturday. We have 2 of Cups. Got a lot of love coming through this week. You're not alone unless you want to be when it comes to opportunities here. This is a great day to have a face-to-face meeting of any caliber, whether it is meeting up with a friend, trying to make a persuasive argument with someone and get your way, trying to attract money, people, opportunities, or just having a good time. If you have an invitation, this is an RSVP of yes, exclamation point. And yes, someone could be coming into your life as well. We had a King of Pentacles showing up this week, so it might be an earth sign. But be that as it may, good energy coming through, have some fun, hang out with a friend, hang out with your pet. I don't care, do something. All right, and now we have a chance here. I'm gonna have to get some water after this, but now we have a chance to recalibrate here. So as we take a look at next Sunday, a week from today, we have 3 cups spilled, 2 cups upright. That could be the 2 of Cups that just came in. And there's a person, a place, or an opportunity that wants to make life better, but just like, the water that was in my kitchen, sometimes we look at that, but like, what about that? Look at all the stuff that's actually going in the right direction. Stay forward oriented and positive. Definitely deal with things. This is a card of mourning. I think you can see it. Not many decks show the mourning accurately, but we can see her crying about that, but she's missing an opportunity here. So absolutely process your emotions, always. But open up to things getting bigger, better, brighter, because there is a rainbow on the horizon. There's always a bridge over the troubled water, and there's these two cups to help you cross that bridge. And we always have that turn of phrase, like, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Well, a week from today, hopefully you come to that, and there's a chance to either keep focusing on what didn't work or focus on what's coming through. All right, let me go get myself some water, and then we're going to move on to the next portion of this reading, which is going to be the elemental forecast, which I know all of you love. All right, so stick around, and I'm going to grab some water. How's everybody's weekend going? Week going too. You might be watching this. Give me a comment below. Let me know what's going on, and I'll take a look at it after we go through the elemental. Okay. Here we go. We're going to look at all of the elements: fire, earth, air, and water. Let me pick a deck for this. And see. For this one, I don't have all of mine with me. I brought about 6, so we'll just have to make do with what I've got. We're going to look at a deck that's black and white because I feel like it gives us some context, especially for those of you that might be trying to figure something out, right? I see some people that have had a great week, chill weekend, some people that are exhausted. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Just take a deep breath with me. Feels good to take a deep breath. We don't do that all the time. And now let's pull out the cards here and see what's coming through for fire, earth, air, and water. Okay. We're going to start first with our fire signs. And we have fire for fire, the King of Wands, right in front of a fire, in fact, of his own creation. Really focus in this moment on breathing life and energy into things that inspire you. You don't have time for things that aren't inspiring, in fact. Another boss energy, remember what I talked about with the King of Pentacles. You may have to step in and make it happen because no one but you is going to have the same passion, the same clarity, the same just sort of focus. So I'm all for that. This is also showing you that you have to feed the flames and fan the flames of the fire as well. So just as with an ace, as you kind of get further up in the rankings here, sometimes there's a sense of being a little bit removed or a little bit distracted. Keep your focus, keep your mental acuity this week where it needs to be. And as long as you do that, the clarity, remember all the symbols today were see-through. So I want you to be able to see through any block, any sort of hesitation, and always see the possibilities. And see past. I really think that's the big takeaway here for the fire signs. See past the obstacle or the thought. There's always another path or another way. The moon card reminds us that as well. So there you go. A great week for kindling, creating, inspiring, and sparking things into existence. We don't always get the sense of fire from the King of Wands. You definitely get it here. And that's everything for that. Great week for business as well. So it's the ultimate card next to the Emperor for being a boss and a leader and inspiring. And I just noticed here a little infinity symbol with the with all the flames. So something that you do now has a lot of sort of like life and potential, provided you put the energy in. And that's everything for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Let's move on from fire to earth. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Well, got the moon. I picked up on that as I was looking at channel messages. This is an interesting moon. We see people kind of intertwined. The moon has kind of, this is why Artemis has the ability to pull things in, right? You may have emotional ties that you're working on between you and a loved one. And the key this week is to kind of like untangle yourself. So yeah, themes of entanglement, exes, family members, coworkers that just seem to like weave a web around you. And today you want to just kind of get free of the spider web and focus on you, focus on your well-being. And gaslighting actually comes through too, where someone, you know that there's something that needs to be addressed, but someone tries to diminish it. By the way, that's what I was experiencing the other day, where I had to keep pushing for like 3 or 4 hours. You need to fix this. So if someone tries to gaslight you on something you know you need to do for yourself, or something that is happening but they're saying it's not, that is the deceptive energy. That can be a part of the moon. That's just their projected reality. Your job is to ground them, remind them. And by the way, when it is in a situation like work, create an email, copy yourself, create a paper trail so that you can later go back and say, you just keep them accountable. You might need that. So get everything in writing. Don't fall for any sort of gaslighting. Unentangle yourself, detangle yourself, and then focus on instincts. So the jellyfish, we were talking about the central nervous system, where it doesn't really have a brain, but it knows what to do. Focus on the primal part of your brain, the third eye as well. If you see it, if you feel it, if you know it, you know it. If you know it, you know it. That's the second time that came through, okay? There's always a path between the entangled energy here towards the moon. So once you get past that, it's, clear sails or whatever, but easy sailing is what I meant to say. And that's everything for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Your power is being grounded and being practical and focusing on facts. Lean into it this week, now more than ever. Let's move on from earth to air. Everything was very airy and clear and floaty in the channeled messages. So I'm not surprised we also have air for air here. The Knight of Swords. So with this, things are taking off in a nice way. So the Knight of Swords is one of the fastest moving cards. We don't see her on the horse, but usually the knight is on a horse. But what we do see is something sparking to life pretty quickly. Your words or your actions spark an equal reaction, and you might be surprised at just how quickly. It's like putting your gas on the accelerator. So we see that. Take time to be present. Stay focused on your direction. So for those of you where the morning or the recalibrating energy really resonated, focusing on the 2 of Cups rather than the 3 of Cups falling over on that card is going to be key, because this is going to help you cross that bridge of opportunity, right? It's also a chance for you to really put things into reality by writing them down or speaking them into existence. So that's the big takeaway on that. Your voice, your words, your actions will spark equal and like reactions. So if it's positive, you're going to see positivity. If it's negative, it's going to make some turbulence. So let's stay positive, affirmative, clear, and forward focused. That's your strong suit. This is air for air. Okay, let's move on to water. Okay, this is one of give me a second here. You're going to watch me flip this around here, because isn't this fun? Topsy-turvy. There we go. Because I'm setting things up. All right. All right, so in water, the Wheel of Fortune, sometimes when I have to go to a new setup, when I switch the cameras, I had to do this with everything last night, so that's why I was up till 4. All right, water, just like that. You could be recalibrating. Let's leave it in. That's part of the live. That's part of the fun. The Wheel of Fortune spins, so you just took a spin with me, upside down and around. This too shall pass, and also you're starting a new cycle. All the stuff that I've been talking about, clearing your mind, clearing your energy, staying focused on things, that is also part of this. I'm glad you guys are having fun. I've been doing this long enough. I'm like, we can have fun with this. The Wheel of Fortune is reminding you to keep your mind on what it is you're trying to do. Absolutely, it's money. It's also personal development and career. And it's you seeing yourself as an integral part to the overall system. You are not just a sort of spoke in the wheel. You are the wheel. You are and the other thing with this is, You've done enough legwork that you don't have to reinvent yourself or the wheel. So try to pick up pieces and lessons and put them together and leverage that as your experience. That's one of the cool things about getting older. You've been there, you've done that. You don't have to repeat stuff. You know how the story ends, right? So use all of that experience to your benefit. Definitely talk money, definitely talk about your connection or your sort of impact, whatever it is that you want to do. You have a say, you have a voice, okay? It's a great week actually for water. Use your passion to infuse the conversations as well, since that's one of your natural gifts. I think that's it. This kind of reminds me of the golden mean, because we have this big sort of seashell energy here. So, you're building something beautiful. Just keep moving, and you're going to start to see things go bigger and wider. And the energy of the Wheel of Fortune and the world are very similar in that way. You can go as expansive as you want, or you can stay as small as you want. Why don't we go expansive, right? Okay, we're going to now take a look at I think we're at the special topic already. I'm just double checking everything here. So we just went through the elements and we did the 7 day. So we're going to go into the special topic for today. So the special topic is whatever the heck needs to come through is going to come through. I'll take a look at those of you voting on the poll. I might pull an extra big idea card a little bit later. So all of that being said, if you haven't liked and subscribed, let's do it. It's free. To everybody that showed up, yay, thank you. To those that have had a tough week, you're in the right place. We're going to focus on making things better. That's why we show up here every single week. All right. Let me turn the camera down and pick a deck for today. All right. Okay, we just had a card, volunteer. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. That's a good way to start, folks. Just move everything up here. Sorry, I had to unpack all the cards here in real time, so taking 1 extra second, it's all good. Okay. Let's get started, folks. We're going to begin, as always, with the catalyst energy. And for your catalyst, creation, the womb. This would be very much connected to Empress energy or any of the queens. It's also just a chance for you to basically say, let's do this, kind of like I was talking about with the Two of Pentacles a little bit earlier. So this womb is upside down. So for those of you that there could be a little bit of hesitation, an initial delay. That does not mean things won't happen. It's just a matter of possibly realigning your thought process, getting some assistance. It's kind of like when a baby needs to be repositioned in the birth canal, same sort of thing here. So there's something that may need a little bit of outside expertise or assistance. And maybe just you looking at it from a different angle. But this is a really great time for creation, for birthing, and then for those of you that need that sort of, like I said, adjustment or sort of like recalibration, absolutely, this is a confirmation of that. As we take a look at all of the cards here, it was interesting. I talked a little bit about the Five of Swords being one of the agents of the devil energy. So it showed up here. Let me just try to get all of this aligned. Again, only had this set up for a few hours. Okay, so yeah, Five of Swords. We have Justice reverse coming through, and this can simply be someone coming through and saying no. And so when you see this, that's what you do. This shadowy figure in the background, it's time to say no. So everything else, though, looks pretty good. We have the Knight of Swords making an appearance again. We have abundance here. We have you in the spotlight. We have the intuition energy with the tentacles that I was talking about. I like it. I think this is going to be a great week. King of Pentacles, lots of the same cards coming through here, so just confirmation from Spirit. Let's start off with the central focus, the center card here. Wish fulfillment. You can do it. Part of it is like just giving yourself permission to make the wish and then believing yourself worthy of the wish. I am ready and worthy. It's something I don't know, I've been having that mantra for 10 years, but like the worthy piece, I just really understood this year in particular, that until you feel worthy of it, the universe it's going to play a dance back and forth. Things are going to take longer. They're going to be harder. I am ready. I am worthy of love, abundance, opportunity in the highest forms. My wish can and will come true. This is wish fulfillment. It is celebration. Okay, so that's the first piece, is the worth piece. The worthiness needs to be there. Feeling ready and worthy. This can be also just a call to celebrate. Celebrate your success, how far you've come, how hard you've worked. No matter what the current situation may be, take a moment and express some gratitude for the current situation, the current growth. It's a card of extremes, isn't it? It can be extreme highs, it can be extreme lows. Let's go for the extreme positivity when and if possible with the Nine of Cups. If you feel like you're having like the best day ever or the worst day ever, take it all in stride. Because we spend more life in the middle or in the transition between those extremes. So they're great for what they are, especially the highs. Drink them in, enjoy them. Don't panic about how long they're going to last. But if you're in one of the lows or if you're somewhere in between, that's where most of our life is spent. So either climbing or coming off the high. So just take it one step at a time. The journey is more important than the destination. So celebrate the journey as well. Okay? Surround yourself with positive people, because in your midst may be one of these Five of Swords folks, and you don't have time for that. You got too many good things going on. Look at this person trying to fill up something that they don't have. A little bit of emptiness here, right around the heart space. And they're looking to be filled up with your sort of energy, your thoughts, and you don't have time for that. There could also be someone in your life that is trying to talk you into doing something that just isn't optimal for you. A lack of integrity, a lack of clarity, and a stacked sort of argument. It's just, you have better things to do. I like to remind folks that typically there is no winner in the Five of Swords. So this is one of the times in tarot and in life where you cut losses, you reschedule a meeting or you just avoid a person because it's not, I'm sure you've all had someone in your life that is just constantly negative, critical, can't quite see the positive, brings you down, pops your balloon. You don't have time for them this week. Maybe next week, maybe never, but definitely not this week when you're trying to be like that King of Wands energy where you're fanning the flames and breathing life into things and making it happen. Okay? Try not to be the Five of Swords to yourself where you think, I can't do this, it's not happening. You don't have time for negativity either. All right. King of Pentacles, deep past. I love that the focus should be on potential, possibility. Make sure to invest in yourself. With this in reverse, what's going on is many of you are the paternal or maternal energy for others. You lift people up energetically and sometimes with resources. But you've done so much of that recently, many of you, that now you feel weighted down like a lead balloon, and I want you to feel like a soap bubble. So anything you can do in your life to divest or remove or walk away from this, that's going to be really, really essential, okay? Ask for what it is that you need. If something is lacking in your life, if it is insufficient, just like a financial institution would say you have insufficient funds. If you're not getting enough love, support, energy, whatever from something, let that person, place, or thing know, I need more, this isn't enough. Let them know how to show up too, because that's important. Just take a step back, take care of yourself. Definitely a week to focus on nurturing self-care, cleaning up your environment as well. All of those things are coming through. All right. And that's the karmic lesson, and it's affecting things that you've been dealing with this week, because in the recent past, we have Four of Pentacles energy, and here's what the Four of Pentacles is all about. It's about not limiting your heart's desires, not limiting yourself. It also can be holding on to the devil something that is, you already know it's not optimal, and you know it's not sufficient, but it's there. So the devil came through earlier today, and I mentioned just the limiting qualities of it. So just because you can predict to some degree what the devil might be, a job, a relationship, a habit in your life, it's still limiting, and it's still not enough. And at the end of the day, you're still unfulfilled. So with respect to that, it's time to reach out, ask for more, expect more, walk away from something that just isn't providing, okay? And sometimes we're the ones that hold ourselves into this sort of Four of Pentacles energy. So definitely don't limit yourself, don't limit your potential, and that's all I got to say on that. All right, we have in the crowning position the Hermit in reverse. There's an encouragement here to come out of your shell. So for those of you that have been just working on a project, you've been keeping to yourself, you maybe been licking the wounds of an old relationship or something of that nature, this is also reminding you it's time it's time to get out there, time to go fishing, see what the universe has to sort of like offer you. And not only that, but there's a chance to share your learnings, your wisdom, your light. She's the lighthouse in this. And back in my early days, back in the olden days, like almost 9 years ago, I used to use an analogy on the channel, which was like a comparison to being a lighthouse. I think I even used to end videos saying like, be the light. So what's old is new again. Be the light for yourself and for others, and light and like attract like. So if you're the light, your light attracts others. Birds of a feather flock together. So that's why I don't want you to be surrounded by this. You don't have time for the squawking bird here. You want to be bright, light, clear, and be the lighthouse. Typically when you are, this goes away because it's not attracted to that, okay? It might be time to say goodbye to someone or something. Justice in reverse is not just about getting the scales in the right position. It's about, in order to do that, you could be like me, giving notice soon on an apartment. You could be quitting a job. You could be saying, no, I don't want to do that actually, to someone that is trying to convince you, Or you could be saying like, you know what, that's not right. That's not, or just saying, I don't want to have this conversation. You're not listening to me. All of these things are justice reversed because you're doing what's right and you're doing what's right for you. And it's not that it's just what's right for you, but it's sometimes the two are in the same direction. Do the right thing, do what's right for you, and bring balance into your life. It's an important time for many of you to sort out legal matters. And for some of you, you might be fighting an injustice in your life. Someone promised you that they were going to do something. They didn't. And like I said, they could be gaslighting or trying to convince you that it's not your right. Figure out what is your rights. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to an expert. You have the right to do so. All right. And again, with the whole balance and inner ear issue, if you're going through any of that, absolutely, talk to a professional. But someone's in the comments talking about releasing. That's definitely what this is, just letting go, finding balance. Let me take a drink and we're going to talk a little bit about this card, which is great. Okay, so this is you, and you're coming through as the star. Just like the Hermit, though, I want you to share your light. And in the traditional deck, the Hermit holds the lantern. In this one, on her fishing pole is the lantern or the star. So this is your moment to put your light out there. Now, notice on this card, we have like a little fairy or mythical creature, and she's making a wish, or she's granting a wish. And this is the wish fulfillment card. Wishes come true, but you have to feel ready, worthy, and you have to believe. Magic exists if you believe in it. So if you don't believe in it, it's not really going to work for you. And manifestation will take longer. It can still happen, but disbelief or, just a lack of following through on that energetic thread that's always around us, it just makes things take longer. Let's not make things take longer. Trust in your power, trust in your light. And when it comes to light in general, don't dim it. So if someone in your life tells you, and I heard this as a kid before, thank God I had a good parents, but I had a teacher in like kindergarten that said I laughed too much and I should try not to laugh. And my dad said, that's baloney. So you want my child not to be happy? Thanks, Dad. There was another time where, I think there was a relative who used to say, keep your voice down. And now I make a living by gabbing. So you never know, like, don't whatever's making you unique, let it shine. And let the people that are having a hard problem or a hard time with that go their own way. Because that thing, whatever it is, your voice, your passion, your gift, it's exactly what you came to this planet to do, okay? So turn on your star and heart light and let it shine, folks, okay? Because I see someone here that's putting the dimmer on, and there's no need for that. Let's see what's going on in the environment. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, I like the general trajectory here because this was not enough. Now we see an offer or opportunity in the environment that is enough, that looks good. 8 of Pentacles for some of you is also you deciding to go to school, to work on something, to, again, initiate a contract. All of this is really, really good. So she's also creating her own wings here. So we have this beautiful moth or butterfly. She's painting that. And if you feel stuck or trapped, you can create the parachute. What I'm doing now, again, it's been 9.5 years that I've been doing it. Can you believe it? But started small. I used to see people. I don't anymore. I used to see clients. And so I did this as sort of a side thing to just reach out to others, and then it became the main thing. So you have a chance to, like me, if you don't like what you're doing, move on, move out, create something new. It doesn't always happen overnight. It's interesting because we're looking at a lot of musicians now that are breaking out after a lot, like Sabrina Carpenter. They've been, Chapel Rowan, she's my new favorite, but she got rejected by her label. It took 3 or 4 years. Her album's been out for a long time, actually, and it's just hitting the mainstream. So the seeds of intention that you put out now will take some time. Speaking of Chapel, the way that she was successful, she didn't give up. She got dropped by the label, and she's like, I really like what I'm doing. I'm going to do it anyway. Then she went independent, then she got picked up by a label again. So the authenticity is key. Abundance will come through the authenticity and having a unique voice, not sounding like everything that's out there, energetically, literally, etc. So I think it's important for you to be patient, be persistent, and you never know what tomorrow can bring. Because we got wish fulfillment this week, you have a chance to be surprised. Even if it doesn't literally happen tomorrow, the tomorrow is closer than you think, the sort of figurative tomorrow, okay? And yeah, if you haven't listened to Chapel Rowan, she's amazing. Give her a listen. Okay, hopes, fears, and opportunities. Knight of Swords. Again, things are taking off. Thoughts are initiating sort of activity and movement and opportunities for you. I like that she's creating. She's saying, I don't like this story. I don't like this script. I'm going to do this instead. So I'm definitely getting a vibe of entrepreneurial, independent, even a little bit rebellious and out of the box energy, all packaged together. You got to walk the walk. I like, and not just talk the talk. So this Knight of Swords has said that they were going to do something, and she's following through on it, isn't she? She's riding that wave of energy, and she's a person of her word. Literally, the words are on her dress, and she's creating things, and there's her quill. And so it's so much better to have someone say something, and then you know that you can trust them, and they're going to follow through. So definitely follow through. If someone isn't following through, have that paper trail. Say, hey, we talked about this. What's going on? Why haven't I seen some progress? All of the above, all of the aforementioned. The moon as the outcome, nicely aligned to what we were talking about at the beginning. Let me see if I can pull that card up while we're talking here. So, okay, let's see. Here we go. It was basically about instinct and transparency. Here we go. So what I said earlier was, make sure that you don't second guess your intuition. Jellyfish have this sort of inner instinct, and also the tentacles here. That was the other piece, and we actually see it in this particular card. Don't let someone pull you into their tentacles and tie you up with their own drama. This is definitely drama. If it were a meme, it would just be like, someone that would be creating a lot of drama or crying and laughing and running. There's like this one emoji this one meme that I like to send. That's kind of the moon card sometimes. Don't let someone rain on your parade or create too much drama or pull you into their stuff. And just be authentic, transparent, and truthful. Definitely with the wolf howling at the moon. Only say you're going to do it if you're truly ready to do it. All right. I have to keep hydrating because I'm going through some allergies. So let me go ahead and grab some more water, and then we're going to move on to the expanded forecast, which is health, wealth, love, and destiny. Okay. We're going to start off with health, which is mind, body, and spirit. All things intertwined here. And your health card, Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. Well, we just talked quite a bit about being unique and allowing that to feel like a safe space. When I look at this beautiful amethyst, it kind of looks like to me, it's really about feeling safe in your uniqueness. And we're not always given that sort of honor or opportunity. You often have to kind of create it when you're an adult. When we're children, we are taught to conform. You have to talk a certain way, look a certain way, be from a certain place, whatever. The older that you get, you realize that a lot of those things hold you back. So when it comes to health, being your authentic self is going to be the best and most sustainable in the long run for you. Some of you may be feeling more sensitive emotionally or physically. Listen to that. And that's why I got out of where I was. I'm like, I don't feel good. It doesn't feel right. That's all you need sometimes. Just whether it's literally your health or your emotions, they're going to lead you in the right direction. Even if it means like having to pick up and go, cut losses when necessary. That's something I'm not afraid to do. And then live with grace. Try to give others a sense of kindness and grace as well. All right, let's specifically look at the cards and see how it might be affecting your general, and by the way, it's a star here, right? Sort of energy too. So anyway, let's look at all the cards and see what you need to be focusing on. Definitely Justice reverse is coming through for me as I'm looking at this. So there's too much and it's setting you off balance. Just like the Two of Pentacles, rather, there's really a choice that needs to be made. And the hard part this week is saying no, or I don't want to do this, or I choose this over this. Sometimes it helps to have someone with you when you say what you need to say. Maybe it helps for some of you to have an advocate to say it for you. So if you need that, lean into that. I mentioned the energy of extremes here. The Nine of Cups can feel like the best or worst day ever, but it's honestly usually not that extreme. So take a step back, ground yourself as needed. Emotionally speaking, the inner saboteur is coming out, so we want to kind of do whatever you need to quell that, quiet that, not allow that voice to overpower all of the really powerful energy coming forth. Some of you have been putting your battery in overload. And like me, like yesterday, there came a point where I'm like, there's not going to be a daily. I'll just catch up and do the next one. Take a day off if you need to take a day off. Stop if you need to. Take care of your health. For those of you that have been helping everybody and you just can't do anymore, it's okay. Everybody needs to just take a day. Everybody's human. That's why we're on this planet. And sometimes we feel like machines, but we're not machines, folks. And you're probably doing a good job if people take you for granted, but don't be afraid to speak up, okay? Let's see what else is going on here. I typically look at Four of Pentacles as tension in the body, holding it into the like your shoulders. Some of you, there might be tightness in the chest. Obviously all of these things can get, bigger. So we don't want to put too much energy into that. This is a great day for meditation, for swimming, for light exercise, for catching up on sleep, anything that you can do to release tension and stress, for sure. Get outside, take a walk. It does not have to be any. Literally, we have one of the most passive hermits here, fishing. It can be a very passive sport like fishing, low impact, just you in nature, a hike. If you want to do something a little bit more intense, or just sitting outside and breathing the fresh air if you have a balcony or a backyard. We talked at great length about this. Just saying no is key. Everything else is pretty good here. The Moon card, okay. I have to see this combination. Some of you may have been dealing with some miscarriages, but I see that turning around. So an improvement in fertility. If you're not trying to get pregnant, be mindful of that, because we have two cards of heightened fertility or surprise birth or surprise conception. And then just moon cycles for women could be a little bit out of balance or more intense or more light than usual. That's just coming through. Okay. All of that being said, let's move on to wealth. This is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. And we're going to focus on this card after I take another drink. Again, I have to drink a lot today, so thank you for allowing the pauses. Pillar of service. Serve with a gracious heart. Know that the universe, God, is serving you. But the card is reversed, as it is here. Some of you are doing a great job, arguably too great of a job. You're giving to the point of exhaustion and fatigue. So even though I'm looking at wealth, I'm getting a health message, because these things are intertwined, folks. So is it going to be sustainable what you're doing? If it isn't, pace yourself. That's the main message that's coming through here. And extend that charity and that kindness towards you too. And we see the throat chakra being lit up there with that sort of beautiful flower. And you have the ability to spread your wings through thoughts. You have the ability to speak your truth. You can also do it in a way that is kind and clear, just like all of the initial messages I was getting in channel messages. Many of you have been called to do a job of service. So whether that is teaching or nursing or being a therapist or being a volunteer of some sort, just know that that's great. It's in alignment with your path, but self-care is part of this, just like a parent. You have to make sure you are getting ample sleep, food, rest, resources so that you can be that pillar of support for the other people in your life. If the pillar is weak, then the whole system fails, okay? So today, take care of you. And that's a nice segue into the cards here. So part of this is about speaking up and saying, I need more support. I need more time off. I need whatever it is that you need, put it out there, and also say that you can, like, if you want to have a sort of like persuasive conversation with someone, you could say, I know you want to do this and this. I think we can do it. Here's how, and this is what we need to make it happen. Otherwise, this is what's realistic. So let people get this feeling that their wish will be fulfilled, but then put the tag on, but we need this. If they argue, just say, no, this is what's necessary. Feel free to try to do it yourself if you think you can, but stay real, stay grounded, folks. Okay, that's going to help you. You also can't be everybody else's superhero. This King of Pentacles is lifting everybody else up to their detriment. So just like a parent has to let a kid fail or fall or experience disappointment because that's part of life, and if you coddle and if you protect, it doesn't always help. One of the best things that happened to me probably was going through public schools, because kids are mean, aren't they? And I definitely didn't always fit in. I had great friends and I had a lot of good times, but I also experienced bullying and mean comments and all of that, but it made a thicker skin. It made me ready for everyday life, so I don't completely collapse if someone is mean to me at the supermarket or something. So you don't have to overly protect everyone. It'll make them stronger if they're able to fall and then pick themselves up. You can be there to help pick them up in the end, but let them fall if they need to fall sometimes, right? Figuratively speaking. Because if we're always there, always the net, we end up getting exhausted, and then the other people never learn the consequences of certain actions. So it's kind of like deep version of the King of Pentacles, but that's what I'm getting on that one. Anyway, looking at your big opportunity this month in wealth, and I'm just kind of doing a broader reading here first, and then we'll do a very light specific one. It is just about getting your worth, going from the Four of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. You're worth so much more than whatever might be presented initially. Don't accept the first offer. Don't accept less than what's right. Don't listen to the naysayers or gaslighters. Once you set things into motion, it's going to feel good. You're going to see progress, and people are going to see you in a different light, literally a different light. If it was a monthly one, that might be the title here, is that you can be seen now with new light, new clarity. Okay, now we're going to briefly break this down and look at it in 3 different categories. We're going to focus on those that have a job seekers, and then I kind of put together the students and retirees. Okay, for currently employed people, everything I mentioned about don't over-deliver, don't do too much, stay in a sustainable space, that's going to be key, because you'll have more to give and you'll do better with what you're supposed to be doing here with the Eight of Pentacles, and it will be recognized. Some of you are ready to quit, that's fine. Some of you just need to create balance in your job, that's also fine. Whatever your truth is, whatever you need to speak up and speak into existence, things really take off once it comes out of your mouth. It's not a time to be a wallflower, easier said than done. You have this potential to just stand out. But you might have to put yourself in a like out of your comfort zone. This business trip that I took, it was because someone invited me to kind of like be a part of a discussion and everything. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I met so many sort of pivotal people at that. It was totally worth it. It was worth all of the hard work that I did early in the month to make sure I got the videos done. Sometimes we have to do the networking things, and it feels like this would be a good time for you to network, because this is literally hermiting and coming out of the hermiting. And when you do that, people see your star power. So you might surprise yourself by going to a special event or talking to a mentor or talking to someone that can make things happen. All right, let me take a drink. avoid gossip. Don't say something that you don't want other people to hear, because it will be heard, it will be seen, it will get back to the person that you don't want to hear it. So walk away from that, say it's wrong, whatever you need to do, but do the right thing and don't gossip. It will just backfire. That's the last thing on that. And then before we move on to job seekers, if you're looking to invest in yourself, King of Pentacles can be self-development. Eight of Pentacles is school. Yeah, it's great. It's going to take you far further. That's the odd combination. Much further than you imagine. Really do something that makes your heart sing, whatever you want to do, not just a class for the sake of a class or, certification for the sake of certification. This is about really doing something that feeds you, and then that's going to take you to the next level. Writing and speaking skills off the charts right now. Okay, so it's a good week for those employed, but there's a truth or a balance or a choice that needs to be made. I mean, it's true for everyone, but especially for those in a current job. And don't be talked into doing something that is against policy or illegal. It also will catch up with you. Just walk away, say no, have a paper trail. All right, for those that are seeking a job, rejection sucks, doesn't it? I'm just going to say it like it is. Rejection is not a fun energy to be in, but rejection is protection. If you watch my channel, it's something I've said since day one. There's also someone that just lacks good communication skills, and maybe you're being saved from having to, you don't want to be in this environment. So if there's a job you really wanted, but the interview went weird, or you had an odd conversation, or you just got a weird vibe and it didn't go to the next level, that's okay, because that's indicative of what the overall experience would be. If it's not right at the beginning, it very rarely is. I think back to a long time ago now. I can't even remember, like 2008 or something, when I had one pivotal job interview where, gosh, I had to go through so many rounds, but I also remember it was like 3 hours. That was a long interview. And I had to sit in a stuffy room with a bunch of people that were complaining. And ultimately, what got me the job was I was like, you guys have been looking for like a year and a half, right? I'm good. You need help. I'm as good as it gets right now. Take it or leave it. I need to get out of here. This is a waste of time at a certain point. They hired me because I was clear and honest, and they believed me. But I also then had to deal with that drama. I knew what I was getting into and got into it anyway. But if you see that it's a dicey situation, really ask yourself, how long can I do this? I stayed longer than I should have there. I wouldn't do that in the present mind. But when the writing's on the wall, it's on the wall. So if you see that or feel that in the interview and you get rejected or you don't want to take it, it's better. I would have listened to my inner voice. Literally, the writing's on her. The writing's on the wall on this one. How can you find work right now? Everything I just talked about coming out of your shell, it's a really good time to network. If you know someone that's connected, it could literally be on LinkedIn. You could ask for that kind of introduction, but there could also be someone that has a lunch with movers and shakers. There could be a special networking event. There could be just even a random invitation. You remember we had the Six of Cups, friends hanging out. Sometimes you never know when you talk to them about something. They're like, oh, FYI, I know this person. Are you looking for that? Hey, just send me a note. Let's exchange numbers. It could be that easy this week if you're looking for a connection to happen. And if I remember all of the cards, I believe it was next Saturday, right? Where the Two of Cups came in. So that's a really good day for networking as well. Informal networking, not like a traditional thing. Friends, a lunch, a coffee. That's how it all happens. Something simple. Say no if you don't want it. Don't let someone talk you into something you don't want to do. Show me the money when it comes to this. Someone is lowballing you on an offer, or you may be underestimating your value. Don't overshoot it, but you can definitely go up. There's a good margin of difference between the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Look at the fine print and get a lawyer to look at the fine print before you sign on the dotted line. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that's everything for job seekers. Can you find it? Yes. Something like things are going to happen quickly, faster this week. You'll get a rejection faster. You'll get an acceptance faster. Here's the thing, though. The job that you find or the opportunity that you find, you may feel this energy of having to mute or try to fit your light and personality into a mold. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. That's what I'm going to say. I think it's worth waiting a little bit, even if it takes longer. Eight of Pentacles could be 8 days. It could be past this week. I think it's good to wait if it doesn't feel right, folks, okay? Students first, then retirees. Students. Everything that I was saying here, like this is a return on investment. 8 of Pentacles, what you're doing can bring great things. Have fun doing this moment in your time. This like school can be fun, but sometimes we try to rush through it. Enjoy it. We see her really taking painstaking detail to make this work. So I like that. This can be parents. This can be like a dad or an uncle or a grandparent trying to say, you should do this, follow the family business, or if you're a lawyer, if you're this or that, like you'll be more successful. No, you're successful when you're aligned with your path and you work well and it's rewarded. It's not necessarily a traditional path. You can have all the skills that you need to have one of those formerly high-paying jobs, but if the passion's lacking, you're not going to see the acceleration. The acceleration here happens when you believe in yourself and you're writing your own sort of script. So most important here is not to feel pressure from a teacher, parent, or mentor, not to give in to your own inner saboteur, to get out of your shell, do something fun. I know many of you have graduated and you're in between semesters, or maybe you're in between semesters if you're like freshman, sophomore, etc. Do something now to create better balance in your life, some social interaction, maybe it is mental and physical well-being, whatever you need to do right now for that, it's great. I just see a very smooth path in the future, a little bit of friction right now because of this external person that's popping in. So be your true self. Retirees may be feeling a little isolated, may want to connect with others. Some of you may even be looking for love, and we saw some of that coming through because retirees, some of you may not be partnered, right? So this is a chance to get out there. Writing, speaking, and also this is a very active card, maybe getting involved in a new athletic or sporting or even community sort of thing where you're just busy on the go. It feels like you're feeding off that energy. So again, not to the point of exhaustion, but if you want to get out there and get connected with the community, absolutely. Say no to friends, family, and people in your life that are asking for too much. Sometimes people look at you because you've accomplished a certain thing in your life, a certain amount of success or whatever, and the hand is always outstretched. 6 of Pentacles is what you want to meditate on. You pick and choose, you're discerning. So pick and choose and do what you need to do for yourself right now, whether that's take a trip, take a holiday, or say no. All of that comes through. The cards are pretty good overall. I'm not seeing major health issues aside from, I think this is more about emotions. And for you thinking to yourself, I can recreate, I can do whatever I want, feeling that sense of empowerment. Okay, let's move on. That was a nice deep dive into that. We're going to go a little lighter into love just because my voice is tired today since I had a long night and I've been traveling and my allergies. So thank you for being patient. All right, so in love, we have the lady coming through. Lots of Empress energy. So the womb coming through on channel messages. This would be connected to Empress. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. Say that 5 times fast. Reap rewards. So you should be soaking in everything this month right now, or this week rather. You deserve it. You earned it. And so if you want to splurge and take care of you, do that. If you need something, especially for those in a relationship, ask. You've been that sort of foundation for everybody else. So this is your moment to receive, but you have to feel that reading, or that reading. You have to feel that emotion. Okay. Quickly looking at love in 3 different categories. Those in a relationship, seeking love, or happily single. If you're in a relationship, this doesn't always have to be separation or divorce. It can just be like feeling like there's there's some inequality in the division of responsibility and labor that made it sound very professional, but someone's pulling more of the weight than the other person. We totally got that here. And it's just about pushing it forward and saying, I've done all I can. If you want to take it to the next level, that's good. This is it. This is enough. And this is also someone that's not giving 100%. The partner or you may also be withholding a little bit because of fear of rejection, fear of someone saying something or whatever. So all of the transparent imagery that came through in channel messages, totally connected to Four of Pentacles. It's so important in this moment to just, if you can't be yourself with the person that you love, who can you really be yourself with? We shouldn't have to put on a mask, a facade, etc. So I think now more than ever, it's important to kind of like wear your heart on your sleeve and just say, this is how I feel. When and then together you two can figure it out. You don't have to do it all. You shouldn't be doing it all anyway. You can be in the same room but feel miles apart. There's an old song by Tori Amos called China, and she talks about like feeling a million miles away, and she's right there with this person. And she could feel the distance growing. So all of that is what I'm getting. I'm hearing that old song while I look at the Hermit. So you may feel like, what's going on? Like, let's talk. And that's really what it's about, is initiating a conversation with the other person, checking in, asking questions. How did that go? What's going on here? Do you want to hear about what went on? If you feel like you need to be listened to, say, I really need your support. Can we talk about this? So you can also bring that kind of stuff up as well. You shouldn't have to change. They shouldn't have to change. Again, this is about allowing one another to be your own best versions of yourself. Some of you are looking at, should I stay, should I go? Make sure you have a heart-to-heart and talk about hopes and fears. There's choices on the Moon card. As long as there's communication, the path towards enlightenment exists. So I think things can end in a good space. And the Hermit and the Star are nice lover cards, actually. Both are bright. One keeps their light to themselves a little bit, and I think there's a chance to find equal opportunities to shine, okay? If you are looking for love, this is the challenge. Some of you are on a rebound, so I get it. There's a chance for recalibration. Remember, we had the Five of Cups. Processing the emotions from the rebound from the last relationship is important. Some of you are dealing with this sort of thought in your head, I can't, I won't, it will never. Like, I can't love again, or I'm not deserving of this, or it's never going to happen. That is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's not go there. Let's not do that. Let's write something different in the book. Let's write the possibilities. I am ready, I am worthy, and I'm not like urgently needing this. There's no sense of neediness. It's just sort of like, I'm ready for it to show up now, full stop. And it's not like if it doesn't, anything's going to happen. You're just stating readiness. I'm ready and worthy. Full stop. Don't say I need it. Just say you're ready. That's a lot sexier from a sort of a manifestation perspective. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. Bring it on. But of course, you want to say what you're bringing on. The highest possible connection, So there we go. The energy that seems to be coming in for those of you that are looking for love is an air sign, possibly someone who is youthful, joyful, busy. You may need to free up some of your time and energy to keep up with the pace of this person. They kind of keep you young, though. I like this. If they are the same age, they act a lot younger, and it's a very fun energy. You could be pulled along for the ride a little bit. The Moon card could also be a water sign that's coming forth. Honesty is the key here, though. So I think one of the things here is making sure that you take your time. This is a card that's inclined to rush. The Knight of Swords, don't rush because of the Moon. Talk to them about who they are, what they're doing. Like, get to know them, get to know their friends before you go too deep. Also, it may be a little bit difficult for you to come out of your shell, or for them. When I was at this event, something that's kind of unique to social media people, I'm pretty outgoing, but there's a lot of introverts on social media. And so when you put a room of introverts together, nothing happens. And even if you go and talk to them, you feel like the weird person. So put yourself out there. The worst that will happen is nothing. I don't necessarily, or someone just says, I'm not interested. But you never know until you know. You never know until you ask. Be positive, flash a smile. That is also something that is really great to connect with others. The connection could also happen in work or school, unexpected places. Okay, for those that are happily single, good for you. I think the main challenge right now is creating better balance in your life. Because many of you were givers, doers, givers, doers, connectors. And this period of time, you really have to focus on doing what's right for you. What's right for me is getting some more water, so I'm going to do that. The other thing is, I think that you could really put a lot of energy in productivity and self-development. We had the womb, we have this card, and then, of course, the lady as well. For any of you that have dealt with allergies, you know my pain. It just is not fun. But anyway, I'm feeling much better just being out of my apartment, so thank you. Let me see if there's anything else for single and, not single and happy. Yeah, single and happy. Okay, the other thing here is, in this moment in time, you are more than enough. Like, you don't need someone, I like this. Sometimes people are just along for the ride or their baggage. So if you're happy where you're at, good for you. Maybe you've been through it, you've been through a separation, or you're just in a place where you feel like, I'm enough. You're more than enough, actually. And you can put the focus on personal development right now, and maybe taking a class. You could still meet someone. You're probably going to have a lot of people knocking on your door or, texting you or whatever. Like, there's a busy social calendar if you want, but the focus is really on increasing your light, your energy, your reach, and it's a good place to be. No bursting of bubbles. I'm going to say it time and again. If there's someone in your life that likes to come in and rain on your parade, not today. Not today. Enjoy this energy. This would be like Queen of Pentacles and Empress. And they're very focused. So normally on the Queen of Pentacles, she has a pentacle. We have her with the fruits of her labor there. Literally, here we have the birthing card, and then we see the fruition here, so fruit. So you can see something come to fruition. It's very like on the nose, the imagery on that. All right, let's now take a look at destiny. We have Freya coming through. You are irresistible. Maybe you needed to hear that. You're beautiful, you're irresistible, but you may not feel it. Freya wants you to feel it. She wants you to feel that sense of, I am a magnet. That's another way to do it that doesn't make you feel like you're full of yourself, right? You are powerful, you are magnetic, you can manifest if you feel the magnetism, the worthiness, the power. I really want you to focus on feeling powerful and worthy. That makes you irresistible. And Freya's coming through to help you feel that sense of self. Not quite there yet, but you have it, you just don't believe it. And once you believe it, wow, that's when things really start to take off. Okay, let's do two things. I'm going to look at the poll. I did not forget. So let's see what personal development. Okay, let's see. That's the winner. Actually, it's a tie, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Money and personal development. Okay, everything's tied. Look at that, 20/20 and 30/30. You guys are interesting today. All right, so we're going to look at two viewers' choices, basically. And then I'm going to take because you told me what needs to come through, and then I'm going to do like a big idea. All right, so let's go to a different deck on this one. Okay, so looking at personal development. Wait, did it just change? It changed on the final thing. The final two were personal development and money. Okay. All right, we have some synchronicities here. So in personal development, hello, hello, also reversed. We have the Fool, come out of your shell. Also, this is very interesting. Some of you have learned what you needed to from an experience. And it's a reminder, like, do you ever know anybody in your life that's like a professional student? They have degree upon degree upon degree, and they've been in college for like 15 years, but they haven't started to put it into practice. This is about saying like enough is enough when it comes to research and just getting out there. You've done what you need to. This card has little mushrooms around the hermit's feet. They've been there a long time. It's time to move. So again, when it comes to personal development, what are you doing to move the needle forward? Do you really need any additional sort of like training or time spent in this current phase, or could you actually move forward? It feels like you could, many of you. I think the other thing that I'm looking at now is money. Yeah. All right. So money. So finances as well, and worth. Bouncing back. I love this illustration. Okay. So 9 of Wands. Some of you are here feeling like, ugh. Some of you are here feeling like I got through it. Most of us are somewhere in the middle, feeling like, okay, I know where I need to be. I know what I want to do. How am I going to get there? You have a chance to continue to bounce back, take care of your health, like something I'm trying to do today. I'm going to take a long nap, like a 4-hour nap today to get back into my zone. But do what you need to do, whether it's exercise, sleeping, whatever. But what we see here is the ability, once you recharge yourself, you're going to bounce back. And also, if you've experienced any setback, a rejection, loss of a job, loss of finances, it's more bouncy right now than it normally would be, which means that this isn't just, you're going in the right direction here. It is important to keep persevering and push through any challenge. So even when you're met with a challenge, like that's another thing I got from my parents was just independence and hard work. So even when I'm not feeling 100, I push through some things. I'll take care of myself today, but it was a long day yesterday. And I still set up the studio at 4 in the morning because I just have good work ethic. So push through it. It will be rewarded, but you might have to push a little to get to the place of stability. Been there, currently doing it. This can be maladies of the head. So sometimes we feel the stress and the strain with a migraine, with TMJ, with upper spine issues like the neck. So really take care of yourself. And if you need a massage or anything, absolutely, now's the time to do that. All right, one last card, and then we're going to meditate. And then we'll look at the final card later. So this is the big idea. It's basically why you tuned in today. So we're going to get out of our own way and just ask Spirit, what haven't we looked at? What do you still possibly need to focus on? So many synchronicities. I felt like this was kind of like the elephant in the room here. So we have the 4 of Cups. And this is very nicely connected with the energy of, what was the other card? Oh yeah, it was the 5 of Cups. Next one in the suit. What happens with the 4 of Cups often is comparison. You look at someone in your life and you're like, well, why did they get this and I didn't? Traditional 4 of Cups has a cup floating right by the person's head. This version has them doing the sort of like the research, the work, rolling up their sleeves and saying, oh, well, if I just look a little deeper, there's a blessing, there's an opportunity, there's a reason. And you know what? My life is not the same as this person, and that's okay. That's okay. Indeed it is. Let's see if there's anything else. Roses and thorns. So things don't always work out perfectly from the get-go. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So just finish with grace, with dignity, with a lot of power, and it'll pay off in the long run. All right, let's meditate. If you will, close your eyes for a moment. We're going to go into a light and airy meditation. So if you've been feeling any heaviness or any sort of intensity, we're going to get rid of that, and then we're going to look at one last card. So don't go anywhere. This is just like 2 minutes, really fast, really worth it, and we'll put a little bit of healing energy. We could all use it, myself included, so we'll ask for that from the guides. So close your eyes, open your mind. Close your eyes, open your mind, open your heart. See yourself sort of sitting on a bench and the sun is rising in front of you, you're not going to look at it. You're just going to feel the energy. Feel the warmth of the light on your crown chakra, opening your mind to the possibilities. Feel that it melts through fears, doubts, and anxieties. And that energy starts to trickle through all parts of your being, because the mind, the brain, it is our central operating unit. It's processing everything. It's sending thoughts and energy. So let it send the energy wherever you need it, wherever you feel it. And then let that healing light move on to your third eye, opening you up to the possibilities. For those of you dealing with allergies, to your sinuses, your nose, your throat, your ears, so you can hear, see, and speak what you need to into existence. Especially the throat, allowing yourself to initiate conversations that need to be had this week. Now to the heart, feel the light, the warmth, see that beautiful golden light with each beat of your heart beating through every vein, every molecule, every energetic particle in your body, including your auric field, lightening and brightening things. Now moving into your liver, your kidneys, where we process all of the garbage in our lives, literal and metaphorical. Allow it to be cleansed, to be cleared, especially your lungs. Taking a deep breath as we're doing that, exhaling, seeing any sort of things that you don't want, kind of just a puff of smoke into the sun. It no longer is with you. Now into the digestive system, letting go of any tension that you may be holding in your solar plexus. Any garbage that may also be in the sort of like the intestines, small and large. Moving now to the passion in our life, the reproductive organs to the base of the spine where we hold our fears and anxieties. Feeling now that everything is lighter and brighter. Before we allow ourselves to fully move on, send the energy all the way to the legs, to the feet, healing any sort of maladies there. Feeling connection. Put your feet on the floor right now if you can. Feel that you are planted and connected, and you are now able to channel things just like the magician. And now, allow yourself to feel lighter and brighter. If you want to float a little bit like a bubble or like a bird or whatever, you can do that for just a moment, letting yourself just feel lighter and brighter. Take one last final breath here, and then when you're ready, open your eyes. Focus on one question that you still have for me. It can be anything, something that you need advice on. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay, we like that. As a yes or no, this is an emphatic yes. However, sometimes those last couple steps can be the hardest. And we see even in this 10 of Wands, the energetic load that many of us are carrying. So don't feel like you have to do it all. Don't feel like you have to do everything all the time. Lean on others. You know, you've watched my channel long enough, for those that have been here. And if you haven't, you're going to learn something right now. With Wands, you're not stuck. There are better sort of cards that are lower in the suit. 4 of Wands is love. 2 of Wands is ideation. 3 of Wands is instantaneous manifestation. 8 of Wands is productivity. Like, you can go anywhere you want to with this. You don't have to do it all, and you don't have to do it all today. Saying no is a big part of this. So say no if you need to, do a little less, but do it better. For those of you that are 99.999% of the way there and are a little tired, just go for it. You've got this. Take a half step, take a break, meditate. But this is also saying you're at the finish line. You just have to take that last step, okay? If you are doing any sort of work, physical, emotional, whatever, know your limits. 10 of Wands can inadvertently go into 10 of Swords territory if you don't pace yourself, okay? And that's everything. What a powerful reading. Thank you for being here. I'm glad I was able to be here. It was, I stayed up just so that I could get all this set up. I'm pretty good. I've done this a few times. I can usually set a studio up, but it takes about 2 hours, and I kept forgetting things at my old apartment, so I had to go back a couple times to get it all. But I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad I have fast internet here so I can do live streams. Everything worked out. Thanks for being a part of the community. I really look forward to these. Even on the most challenging days, I always leave feeling better. I hope you do too. That's always the goal and the purpose. Like and subscribe, like I just put there. If you haven't already, it's free. It helps the channel grow. It helps me know that you like this. It helps others discover it. If you're like, why does every creator do that? The algorithm. Other people discover it when you interact with the video. So it's free and it's really powerful. Leave a comment on the live. Leave it when it's on replay. Like it, share it. All of that stuff helps. To get reminders on other social media platforms, including like when I have something going on, I put it on the community tab, I put it on Instagram, I put it on Facebook. Make sure you follow me. It's always my full name. There's a couple imposters on TikTok and other places. Even Facebook had one crop up. You can always go to my website, but remember it's my name as spelled like that. Like, so if there's something that's not quite right, just block and report. Remember, I don't offer private readings and I don't use direct messages, and I won't send a friend invite. I know, but it's for a reason, so that I can say that on any platform, you're not going to get a special invite or message because there's so many people out there that does it. It's not because I'm antisocial, folks. It's because I want to protect you. So if you see that behavior, it's malicious, don't engage with it. I do love and support all of you. I'm just trying to keep it clear so you know what's going on. Thank you to everybody that gave back and everybody that has showed up. Even if you've been having a bad day, I'm so glad you showed up today, whenever today is, whether it's in the live stream or a few days later. All right, I want to give some thanks. And again, like, let's just celebrate that we made it through today. Let's give some thanks to all that showed up here and gave back. I'm going to start off with memberships, and then we'll take a look at super stickers. So, and I'll acknowledge those who gave. And thank you to Dakota, by the way, who's been doing that as well. Okay. God, we have a lot of people today. I saw some gifting of memberships, so thanks. Here are all of the new or rejoining members. First is LB. We have Sandra Isabel, 62 and sunny. Good to see you. I know you're a longtime viewer. Amelia B, Astro Tarot, Christina, Anya, Sapolina, Dr. M, VW, Sabrina the Witch, Canadian Lavender, Breezy, let's see, Azanas, something like Azanas. Apologies if I didn't pronounce it correct. And T. Bruce. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Let me take a look here on the main chat, and I'm going to recognize those who gifted and then anyone that celebrated an anniversary. All right. So let's see. The first one is not showing up because they have this little summary thing. I can't see the first, but I can see past that. So, oh, here it is. Okay. Raven, thank you for gifting a membership. I appreciate that. Lorna, 32 months you have been a member. You're amazing. Thank you so much for that support. Again, I wouldn't be here without all of you that have been here for that amount of time. Lucy, 29 months, equally as awesome. Thank you. And you gifted a membership today as well. Thanks so much. Colette, 5 memberships. Amazing. Thank you so much. And welcome to all those that were lucky enough to get a membership from those folks. Deborah, another 5. Thank you very much. 41 months. Karen, that's a long time. Thank you so much. It's hard to believe that amount of time has even passed. You've been with me through the pandemic and back, so thank you for that. I'm glad that you enjoy these likewise, like I said. Sarah, also a longtime viewer of 28 months. Thank you so much. I recognize all of these names, so I appreciate it. Deborah, 14 months. Thank you. Let's see. Koi at Play, thank you so much for gifting a membership as well. So kind. And I think that's a really fun way to grow the community. I'll be doing more with that in the future. Maybe even while I'm here in the next week or two, since I have a good internet connection, I may do an impromptu. It's been a minute. So I might do that and do like member Q&A. Feels right. So maybe sometime this week I'll do that. So members, keep an eye out. Everybody subscribe. I usually open it up for everybody, but I keep it like a member chat just to say thanks. Okay, so that was all the member stuff. Let's take a moment and take a look at supers and those who gave back with super stickers or super chat. Okay, Lori, Claude, Lucy, Raven, Jillian, Marianne, Bonnie, Lorna, Wendy, Ralu 15, Jeannie, Sarah, Emma, Allison, and Melinda. from my heart to yours. Especially, this has been a rough day. I appreciate the support. I needed it today, so thank you guys for being here for me as well. I appreciate that. Melinda, it looks like you just gave back. Allison, if I didn't say that. And Emma, I see a few last-minute ones as well. All right, deep breath, everyone. We've got this. It's a good week ahead when I'm looking at all of these cards. Allow yourself to find the balance that you need. You've earned this opportunity. You've earned this right, okay? I'll be starting up all the new monthly videos this week, so keep an eye out. The schedule over this month may be slightly different because I've just moved. I'm probably going to take a day off because I need it, and then maybe I'll do some stuff on Tuesday. So I'll get the normal 3 videos out per week, but I'm not sure which days. That keeps it fun. That keeps it interesting, and I'm in flux right now, so thank you for your flexibility. But we'll get it all done. All the videos are already done. You don't have to wait. Pisces, you got it first this month. I hope you enjoyed it. So go to the main channel page. I might do a newsletter tomorrow, actually, just to kind of keep it easy. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't already subscribed, you can do so on my main channel page. All right, folks, lots of love and light. I'm going to take a walk with Mr. Apollo, who's just getting his Z's here in the background. Thanks so much for being here. It really does mean the world to me. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.